This video is about part 4 of 5S implementation, that is standardize. So now that we have put sort, set in order and clean in action or shine in action, so now what exactly we need to do is that we should standardize everything, or we should make an effort to put all these things and make it as a regular duty or regular task of the workers which has to be performed regularly. Because if we fail to do that, so whatever we have done till now, that is sorting, setting in order or shining or cleaning, so it would just become a one-time task and nobody would be bothered to do it again. So aim here is to establish formal 5S system. So teams try to focus and put everything into a formalized system so that each person knows that what is his 5S duty and how they are going to perform it, what is the frequency and what is their task. So this step is basically a backbone of 5S implementation. Obviously, as I've already told you, that if you fail to standardize, if you fail to put this step in action properly, then you cannot say that you are on a continuous improvement when we talk about 5S implementation, because you have no standards, nobody is following what they need to do, it was only a one-time implementation. So task to be performed here is to program previous steps into routine tasks. So you have to make duty lists, you have to form a certain kind of visual communication order or visual codes which everybody should know and everybody should follow. Their duty time should be fixed, and to their frequency of cleaning or frequency of doing all those things, that when they have to perform what duty should be standardized, it should be written, it should be documented. So what you need to do is, first thing that you need to formulate the standards, right? For this, team leaders should meet to formulate facility-wide 5S standards. Obviously, now team leaders should meet regularly, weekly, monthly, or maybe biannually, so that they can talk about that what kind of things, what kind of changes have been implemented, what has to be done, and who is going to perform, right? And here they should also focus to get good amount of worker feedback, because those are the people who are actually working or who will be actually working for long terms, right? So they should get their suggestions, their feedback. And then they should develop formal duty lists. Obviously, they should know that who is going to perform what, whose duty is to perform what kind of task, because only then the standardized system will come in function. Duty list should be shared with workers, they should know. Document the standards and post them at strategic locations. Now, once you have finalized everything, that what are the duty list, what kind of visual order, visual communication you are going to follow, what are the rules, what is the frequency, each and everything should be documented, and then it should be posted at various strategic locations. It should be shared with workers so that they know, and everything should fall hassle free. Everything should be hassle free and everything should fall in action automatically. No one should command that you have to do this thing today. One should know. It should become part of their regular duty, and they should know that what they are expected to do. Then after formulating standards, we need to formulate color coding. Now, color coding is something which is, some colors are universally understood, universally accepted according to OSHA standards, that is Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So they have to follow those norms. But again, you can customize if you think that certain things are not according to your work standards. So you can also customize your color coding charts. But the basic thing is that it's very, very important, because till now you might have heard me saying visual communication, 5S is about visual communication. So best way to visually communicate is through colors, right? Because colors have their own language and they just communicate very rapidly. A very simple example, nowadays we see a lot of bins. For green, we know it's for recycling things, and the black ones are for the stuff which is not to be recycled, right? So even before reading, our mind just tells us that here we have to put something which can be recycled, and for this we don't have to put something which has to be recycled, right? So color coding is very essential. In my previous slide I gave you a color coding chart. So here I am just going to give you a brief overview. As I have already told you, colors convey information rapidly. If you go to big factories, you go to hospitals, you will see that they are using this color combinations a lot. In hospitals it's used lots, like if they have different charts for various things, like when the patient has come in or how many days it has to stay. Even in those rooms where patients are admitted, they have their color coding charts, and at various places they have their charts, and same way in factories you would see that color coding is used quite a lot. So create standardized color scheme. So basically, though I have already given you a color coding chart, so basic colors which are used in 5S are green. We all know it's for safety. So it's for safety equipment, first aid, recycling containers, all. Wherever these are placed, you have to use green color. And then blue is for equipment and inventory, right? So for blue, you have to use blue for machines, inventory lines, inspection points, notices. So you are going to use blue color. And then you are going to use yellow or orange, where you have to show standards. For example, machine guards, aisle walkways, handrails, cautions and warnings, all are just given in green, yellow and orange. And then red obviously is for defects and fire. We know that when there is red, this means there is scrap container, firefighting equipment, red tagged material. And then white is for total process management. That means it's for repair tools, total process management materials, cleanliness, etc. And then finally gray is for racks and storage. So rack, warehouse, storage, etc. all is represented by gray. So these are the basic colors. You can use them, or you can create your own colors if you think that your needs do not fall under these ones. So you can create your own, but again then your focus should be that everybody in your workplace should understand those colors. And if you have modified here something and people do not understand them, so make certain charts and big charts and place them across your facility or your working station, so that you convey that these color codes are being used in your workplace. So encourage workers to familiarize with the new standards, because until and unless your workers are familiar with these new standards, you won't be able to put standardize in action. So here the importance is given on formulating standards and color coding. Along with establishing standards and just getting a good color coding chart for your organization, another thing you need to take care in this phase is continual application. So by now you might have understood that the approach we are using for 5S implementation is a PDC approach. So continual application is essential. It's not that you just think of that, okay, we are done with setting in order, we are done with sorting, now we're just going to follow up with shine. No, it's not like that. You have to keep on following all the 5 steps, right? So all steps should be applied continuously. Only then you can say that we are on a path of a 5S implementation and we're doing something which follows the standards. You have to adapt to changes. Now we all know that the way things work, the technology changes very quickly these days, and the machines change. We just get new technology, new machines, the way of working changes. But this does not mean that we have to abandon 5S implementation, or we have to leave that. We have to adapt it accordingly and then just move on. You have to involve workers. Now when management is standardizing duties, they are standardizing their 5S policy, they should always involve workers, get their feedback, get their suggestions, because this way you can get better buy-ins. They will be able to help you better, because they know that the suggestions have been accepted, so they will help you implement your programs in a better way. Display progress charts, achievements and set goals. Obviously, when you just display the progress using certain kinds of graphs or pictures, so this just gives a boost to the employees. They know that for what they are working is being achieved. A very simple example is you can just use graphs like these, where you can just mention the percentages over here, 40, 50, 60, 70 and so on, and days like weekdays or months over here, and then you can show the progress at how whatever they are trying to achieve, how they are just attaining those goals. So this just gives a boost to workers, and they try to work more hard and according to the rules to bring this progress. And then instead of criticizing, just focus on the achievements. A very common example, if you just go to the fast food joints like KFC or Domino's, they just place a picture on the board which is displayed publicly, which is like a star employee of this month and his achievements, and this picture they keep on changing every month or so, and this just gives boost to that particular employee. He feels that whatever he has done is being noticed, and other employees also try to work hard. If you are working in such places like Domino's or some public places, this is a good way, or you can give them other kind of incentives. So this just gives them a boost to perform better. And set goals. So always set your goals, that what you are trying to achieve within a week, within a month, within 6 months, and then convey this to your workers that this is what you are trying to achieve, then they would help you better. So now that you know what you need to do in this phase, so I am just going to quickly go through all the steps you need to take in this phase. So first, take before photograph, and then check if first 3 S's have been implemented properly, that is sort, setting in order, and shine have been implemented properly or not, because once you know that they have been implemented properly, only then you will be able to standardize those. Display work logs, that is what each person has to do, whose responsibility is to do what. So just display these work logs, establish routine, standardize procedures. Now for example, in first step you did red tagging, so standardize the procedure, that how you are going to red tag, how often you are going to red tag, what kind of area you are going to place these things, and how often you are just going to dispose of things from those red tagging areas. So just standardize the norms. Then standardize procedures for creating shadow boards, position lines, labeling, etc. So standardize the procedures, that what kind of shadow boards you are going to create. So that would be a standard that would be followed till their new technology changes or some new things happen. And how you are going to position your lines, or how you are going to label the things, what kind of color codes you are going to use. So standardize those. Standardizing the cleaning schedules, that how you are going to schedule, how you are going to clean, how frequently you are going to do that. So standardize these schedules. Create single point documents, that whatever standards you have made, create documents and then post these documents on strategic positions, so that you communicate your 5S procedures. Assign duties, and then go in for regular inspection and audits, so that you know that the form, the policy which you have implemented, is it being worked on properly, is it being implemented properly. So how you can check through inspection, and make one person responsible who is going to inspect everything and then create logs of inspection. Praise good practices. Obviously, as I have already told you, that instead of criticizing bad things, so just praise good practices and take an after photograph. So this is the basic way how you are going to put step 4, that is standardize in action. This is the form which you can use when you are implementing step 4, that is standardize, right. So I am not just going to read everything, because you can download this and use it when you are actually implementing. So this is the implementation checklist, that is whatever you need to do, you can finally check it out once you are done with it. For example, reviewing the current visual communication standards, and then set new visual communication standards for uniformity, and then give 5S training to workers and update duty calendar. So these are the steps you need to take, and once you have taken them, simply just check them out. So this is for your convenience. And then these are the reference steps. Again, you just go and refer back when you are actually implementing this step 4. So you can see that whether you have done that. So I have just divided into first part is preparation, then it's developing communication, implementation, and then you just stabilize your 5S. And this is to involve everyone, that whenever you are implementing, as I have already told you, involve your workers, involve your employees. This is work duty task timer, that is who is supposed to do what, you can mention it over here. And then, as I have already told you, that this step is about standardizing everything, that you just standardize who is going to clean everything, the duties, their tasks. So these are the forms which you can use. So this is for 5S shine duties. So this is the reference form, and then I have just written this how you should fill it, and then this one is empty, so you can use it according to your own needs, right. So here, as this is the name of the person who is responsible, this is his job, this is the job description. description and this is the time. Same way, if you have some other duties, you can just write down the name of the person, what is their job description and start time. Since this is for Shine duty, you can also make forms, you just need to, instead of Shine, just write 5S, write tagging duty, and you can use this form accordingly. And then this is 5S weekly team leader Shine duty form, right? So who are the team leaders, what are their duties? So once you standardize it, just make this form. So again, I have just filled up this form, and this one is empty for your use, and this one is a reference form. For example, here the name of the team leader, that's Laura, her duty is to meet, and description is team leader and workers resolve issues and share success, and this is done on Monday at around 4 p.m. So same way, this is Shine duty. You can also write on other duties like set in order. So team leaders are for each and every activity. So you can use this form, you can customize this form. And then this is 5S monthly team leader Shine meetings. That is, these all forms are just made for Shine. You can just customize them according to your other duties, for example set in order or sort duties also. So this is again a form which I filled up, and this one is empty form. So basically here your purpose is to standardize your policies, so that whatever you have done in last 3 stages, that is sort, set in order and Shine, here you try to standardize and make it a system where you can just regularly use it. Each person knows what are their duties, and everything just becomes part of their regular duty. So here I am just going to finish this lecture on step 4, and next one would be about step 5.